Hello. Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening. How's things?
Things are great. I can't complain.
Great.
Yeah.
Me too. Let's see. I had, today is my day free from the coworker from hell.
Look, I know you were miserable during that whole saga, but it was quite entertaining to read about her
Ugh,
dumbness.
I
Like,
know.
how do people like that function in the
I
real world?
don't know. I don't know.
I
I
get to
don't
thinking, I'm
know.
like, this person operates a car and probably like has a bank account. Do they even know how that works? Like,
Probably not.
do they know how to cook ramen noodles on the stovetop? It's just a lot to ask.
Indeed.
Hey,
So, yeah,
everybody.
today. Yes, hello, everybody. Hi,
We get people
Rosie.
like
It's
little
Machine,
in.
Lily, Ice
Maybe
Goddess. Okay,
I can see that in my mind. I can see the sum result. Woo.
that's nice.
Thank you, Ice Goddess.
Me too. I loved it as well.
I got mad and I wanted to post. Damn it!
That's what it's here for.
All the I like my army side comes out. Like my mad army side. Like you candy ass people. You don't know real revolution.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, we can't resort to this. Well, what else are you going to resort to? You remember Occupy Wall Street? You know what they
Right.
did? They laughed. They laughed at you.
Yeah,
They're not going to give up anything. So by polite discussion. So I don't know what the heck you want.
I agree. You gotta
Yeah.
act somehow.
Thanks, Ice
Anyway,
Goddess. I'm glad
yes.
my anger was appreciated. I don't really
Hmm.
get angry often, but it's like you are such useful idiots to these people. They
Yeah.
want, yeah. I don't want to derail from like the stream topic, but like, damn, oh, just makes me mad.
Yeah. Well, and that comment that sparked the video. I
Yeah,
re-
but
I I replied to it with "Let them eat cake."
exactly. That was such like I lost brain cells reading it. But you know what though? That comment is only one of many
Of
like
course.
responses I've seen because I've been following this thing pretty closely. Um, I'm all about Luigi. Like, yeah, we need more Luigis. We need more.
Luigi. The memes also, I have to say, have been incredible.
Ooh, can you send? I'm terrible at finding memes. If any meme people can send me memes, that would be great.
Yes. Okay, I can. Hold on.
Yay.
Um, um, Diverging from the topic, we will get to the topic, but
Yes. This is very on point for current discussion. This whole Luigi thing. It's happening in real time, like, and it's really sparking. It's sparking something big. I just
I hope so.
I hope so too. I mean, everybody's been so complacent, and they've wanted to
Okay.
like, he's hot as shit. You must have quit.
That one made me laugh. But
Uh-huh.
okay, this Rosie, I thought the same thing. His name is Luigi Mangione, and I was like, that sounds really similar to Luigi's Mansion. Anyway,
Yes. Yeah.
okay, let me
Yeah,
close my
Lily, you're like the
Spotify.
meme queen. I do appreciate your meme sharing
Yeah,
and
Lily is the queen of
yeah.
memes. My God.
If you've got any Luigi's Mansion memes, that'd be great.
Okay, so I just reblogged a few posts of like funny tweets and stuff. So he's hot as shit. You must have quit. We're finally on the verge of learning once and for all if Italians are white.
I like that's
That
darkly
made me
funny.
scream.
I like that a lot.
Beloved murderer canceled after old tweets surface. Oh, good news. The alleged shooter is even hotter than we thought. Oh no, his politics border on incoherent and he's an Ayn Rand guy. Well, at least he reads and he's even hotter than we thought.
Oh man, is he an Ayn Rand guy though?
Well, did you see like his Twitter and stuff?
I only saw a few tweets. I did see somebody covering his Goodreads list, but
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, he just seemed kind of like a philosophy bro that read all the, he
Yeah.
read Infinite Jest and he read like all the philosophy.
He
So
had some like sort of right wingy tweets and stuff, but
how long ago was it though?
I didn't see the dates,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But like, still, it's just, ugh.
I don't know. You want to know a fun fact about me? Oh
Yeah.
my God. John Wilkes Booth. mean,
Anyway,
to be fair, Luigi is hot. I do have eye for the guys as well, so
right.
he's easy on the eyes. But fun fact, my father is legitimately one of the followers of Ayn Rand,
Oh
which is
boy.
called an objectivist.
Right.
Like he's one.
Yeah.
You know, he's part of their society. He used to go to their conferences.
Oh wow.
I don't know if
Okay.
he still does. Yeah, so I'm intimately familiar with Ayn Rand's
Mm-hmm.
philosophy. I basically grew up in it, although I was not like, molded to follow it. I just knew of it because the good thing about my parents is they never like forced me to believe anything. But yeah, I've
Yeah.
tried to read some of her works and it's very hard because
Yes.
I do not believe, like, her viewpoint and mine are pretty much diametrically opposed. So
Yeah.
yeah.
There was some more that
Ooh,
I found. So they found the killer
yay.
apparently. Twitter's making me scream with laughter. Texting every Italian American friend I have saying, not him being one of y'all. What the hell? Sure. Yeah, his Twitter bio was
I know he's got like the
interesting.
thirst trap. It's funny.
Yeah.
I
Um,
feel I am okay. So people are calling him a right wing bro, and I'm wondering if he was one of those right wing guys, and until life like kicked his ass, and then he's like, wait a minute, maybe the right wingers are wrong. Maybe society is fucked up and billionaires rule us all, and that's not fair. Because
hmm,
I don't know. Like most right wingers worship people like that CEO. So
yeah.
I don't know. I wish I could know more about like the intricacies of what he thinks.
Yeah. Today we are all Italian.
Yes. Ryan
Ryan
Murphy,
Murphy,
please
please don't.
don't. As it was written.
Rated the Lorax 5 stars on
Yeah,
Goodreads.
that's the kind of stuff I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, what hardcore right wing bro is going to read the Lorax and be like, I don't know. I just feel like that's more of like I heard he identifies as like a centrist right leaning, but not totally right
Yeah.
wing. But I don't know. I'm not like trying to fangirl for this guy or anything. It just seems a little
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
inconsistent to be like down with capitalism and be a right wing tech worshipping bro. Like that just doesn't vibe to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Enlightened female, I've also like have been just consuming like everything about
Yeah.
this whole incident and everything. I think it's like I've got stars in my eyes. It's just amazing.
This one is so good. He's a young man with an education and a
Uh,
promising future. A mistake shouldn't ruin his whole life. Free
yeah.
him.
I saw a woman on TikTok basically saying that. She was like, that's somebody's son. He has his
Yeah.
whole life ahead of him.
There's the Italians are white thing again.
Yeah.
Luigi Mangione sounds like what J.K. Rowling would name an Italian character.
I saw that before. That's a good one. Yeah, enlightened female, like that's probably it. A lot of people come to the conclusion after health struggles. I certainly have. Yeah, and even though I never followed the whole Ayn Rand thing, when I was young, I was like a libertarian type, like in my 20s, and working a really shitty job under a very corrupt president of a startup company literally changed my politics overnight
Mm,
because I saw the shady, shitty things he did. At first, when I was going in there, I fell for the lie that a lot of young libertarians do, that the free market would sort itself and that people were
yeah.
fundamentally not greedy and wouldn't fuck people over for no reason. But that's actually not true. They will.
Yeah.
This guy had a yacht and everything, and he was basically canceling people's health insurance and promising them bonuses and yanking them away. Like it was
Ugh.
watching that and being like his quote right hand man during my time there. I was like, wait a minute, this is all a lie, all of it.
Yeah.
Everything my family said about like how the free market is amazing and how the right wing politics are the good politics, and I was never right wing, but I was always like centrist. It was all just smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
Concepts of condolences, yes.
Yeah. Concepts.
I've been seeing like I forget. So it's going on online like oh yeah, it's concepts of thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, concepts of thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, enlightened female. I was thinking the same thing earlier today. Like I'm I'm pro Luigi for now, but he's a man. Like
Yeah.
he's a guy. He's a young, like someone else said, he's like a young frat boy. Like I'm not holding him to any lofty standard that I wouldn't. He's a guy.
Yep.
So if something comes out where he's shitty, then I'll be like, well, you know, that's just the way it goes.
Yep. How'd you get caught in a McDonald's, baby? You're supposed to be in Russia by now.
Yeah, for sure. There was a lot of people that were really skeptical of him being caught anyway. A lot
Yeah.
of people either think that it's a setup by the CIA, which I don't know, or they think that this guy wanted to be caught on purpose because I heard something very interesting. He has a YouTube video scheduled to premiere. And I don't.
Right. Yes, but his channel has already been nuked by YouTube.
Damn.
Yeah.
I hope some nerd went in there and was able to extract that. That sucks.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah. Luigi's my Roman Empire. Sorry, the
Yeah,
comments are really funny. Wait. Okay. I should be looking up the thread because it's also
it's
really
fine.
funny. There's too much.
Luigi Mangione. I hate the paying the premium. I shoot at the CEO. The timeline. Oh. Grappling with the implications of the adjuster turning out to be a hot Italian tech bro gym rat who went to Penn, seems to have had pretty gnarly back injury, retweets anti-woke nonsense, and has read not one but two books by Steve-O.
Oh yeah. He's just, I don't, but you know what? People could watch our content and claim we're anti-woke.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because we don't do the trans thing. I have to read the tweets and figure out like what exactly he said because I don't know. I don't know.
I think, where did I read his manifesto? Did somebody post it on the island? I think maybe Lily did. Did you do that, Lily?
Wait,
was that you?
If you posted that, I totally missed it. I need to go back and look.
I'm pretty sure she did. Oh God. Anyway, good old Luigi. Well, maybe it was Joan.
Oh, Lily did
somewhere.
Yeah. Lily
anyway, I'll find it for you and then send it to you at some point. Okay.
Yeah, Lily, I don't know why he wanted to spend the rest of his life in prison because he was one of them. He's not one of us. Like his family is very wealthy. He's one of the rich millionaires. He was all set. Like he could have just so easily turned a blind eye. He could have done nothing and just collected his money.
Where the heck did I see that damn manifesto then? Because he posted about the suffering of his mother, and it was because of the whatever healthcare company. Oh no, hiccups.
United, yeah. I got to read that.
Where the hell?
I also heard that he volunteered at the nursing homes that which his parents own a giant network of these nursing homes. And their standard of care dropped because they stopped getting reimbursed well by the insurance companies.
Oh boy.
I mean, who knows? I've really got to do my research because a lot of this stuff could be mythical, you know. This guy's already turned into like a myth.
I swore it was on our Discord group chat thingy that it was posted, but I guess not. I'll have to find it.
Maybe it was another Discord.
Yeah, I guess it must have been Luigi. I'm just searching his name.
Luigi.
Sorry, live chat audience, as I just scroll through. Oh, it was on a different Discord. Okay, I'll send it to you.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, really. That'll be within 6 months, I bet. They're so fast with those.
Yeah, it is coming. You mark my words. Definitely coming. Yeah, enlightened female about the provoking. I saw a stupid video from one of the mainstream news sites. It was about 40 seconds long, and it's titled Luigi Mangione screams as officers, you know, escort him into the courthouse or whatever. He wasn't screaming. He was saying words. He was yelling words. He said something like, blah, 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 an insult to the American people and a denial of their lived experience. I didn't catch the first part of what he said, but like they're trying to make
Oh,
it so
such
that he's,
scream.
yeah, they're making it so that he's like raving like a lunatic in the title, but he's saying actual words, and it's to the reporters because the reporters were swarming out watching
Of
him being
course.
taken in his orange jumpsuit, and the officers were like grabbing onto him, hauling him in, and that's what he yelled to the reporters.
Jeez.
And that's what kind of gives me pause on the whole like right wing, because it just lived experience. Right wing bros make fun of that phrase, so I just
Yeah.
want to know what his journey was like. I want to know what makes him tick, you know.
Yes, I do. Interesting. Well, should we get into our topic for tonight?
Yes, we definitely
Okay.
should. I'm really excited for this topic.
Yes.
Yeah,
A lot to say, I'm sure.
I love talking about the hypocrisy of religion.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a good time.
Okay, can't see anything.
Mm.
Bear with me. Okay.
I think the right side is cut off.
Yeah, I'm working on it. There's like a sweet spot of how much I can expand it so I can still see the chat window, but also see. Okay. Okay. So this article is from the Washington Post from September, so it's a couple months old, but I just was like, oh, it's the whole leopards eating people's face thing.
Yeah, I've been watching that as far as the Trump election goes and the MAGA people
Yes.
regretting their votes on YouTube, and it's been very cathartic, but I can't wait for this.
Yeah. Okay, so as Taliban starts restricting men too, some regret not speaking up sooner. Like, they didn't care about all of the shit that the Taliban has done to women, but now that it's, yeah, well,
No,
what about us?
of course not. To these guys, women are no, they're basically at one step up from cattle.
Yep.
They're not, they can't even speak. Like, they can't even speak. And it's not just to men, they can't speak at all
Right.
in
Yeah.
public.
Their voices are not allowed to be heard. It's fucking crazy.
Exactly.
Okay. So now I'll do this. Okay. So as the Taliban, what? Is it okay?
Sorry. No, it's fine. I read the first paragraph and I had to laugh.
Oh. As the Taliban starts enforcing draconian new rules on women in Afghanistan, it has also begun to target a group that didn't see tight restrictions on them coming: Afghan men.
Oh,
right?
no.
Right? Like, wait a second.
Mm-hmm.
Women have faced an onslaught of increasingly severe limits on their personal freedom and rules about their dress since the Taliban seized power 3 years ago. But men in urban areas could, for the most part, carry on freely.
Yeah, imagine that. Like, I was talking about this with somebody IRL, and I was saying something like, you know, I like this because we all know that fundamentalist religions have strict rules for everybody, but the men get a pass.
Yeah.
Like, I think I commented, maybe you saw it, or it was, and I forget where it was, but it's like how adultery is a deadly sin, but in
Yeah.
Christian fundamentalism, if the husband cheats on the wife, she's encouraged to stay with him, and it's like blamed on her because she wasn't a good enough wife
Yeah.
rather than him being punished for it. Like, there are rules on paper for men, like, and how they have to love their wives as Christ loved the church, but they can basically treat their wives any way they want and they just
Yes.
get away with it. Like, rules on paper does not translate to actually enforced rules. And I gotta say, I'm all for the Taliban, even though they're a religious fundamentalist death cult. Yeah, make the men follow all the sacred religious whatevers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the past 4 weeks, however, have brought significant changes for them too. New laws promulgated in late August mandate that men wear a fist-long beard, bar them from imitating non-Muslims in appearance or behavior, widely interpreted as prohibition against jeans, and ban haircuts that are against Islamic law, which essentially means short or Western styles. Men are now also prohibited from looking at women other than their wives or relatives. Like, oh no, they can't wear jeans. Meanwhile, women are not allowed to speak or be seen in public.
Oh no, I have to grow a beard, but I can still move around freely. I have a liberty to get an education, a job,
Yeah.
I can talk in public. I
Go
can't
to a restaurant, like,
right, do all the little shit that we all take for granted, just like being human. Oh no.
yeah.
How dare the Taliban infringe
Mhm.
upon his rights?
As a result, more are growing beards, carrying prayer rugs, and leaving their jeans at home. How fucking tragic. These first serious restrictions on men have come as a surprise to many in Afghanistan, according to a range of Afghans, including Taliban opponents, wavering supporters, and even members of the Taliban regime, who spoke in phone interviews over the past 2 weeks. In a society where a man's voice is often perceived as far more powerful than a woman's, some men now wonder whether they should have spoken up sooner to defend the freedoms of their wives and daughters.
Too late, fucker. You laughed.
Yeah, they
You
didn't
laughed at
care.
that. No, it was even worse. I read report way back when we withdrew from Afghanistan. Remember that?
Yeah.
I read reports that Afghani men were like jeering and laughing at the women and being like, "You just wait.
Yeah. Once
What
the
you were
Americans are gone.
right, like all this freedom you've had for 20 years, kiss it goodbye." They were very petty about it.
Yeah.
You'd think that 20 years of working alongside their sisters and like, I'm sure that a society like that is not going to become anywhere close to non-misogynistic overnight, but you'd think that speaking and working with women for 20 years in the public sphere would maybe make some of them think that women are human,
Right.
but no.
No.
As soon as the Americans left, that the civilian men they just rolled over for the Taliban
Yep. Like those
because they
pesky
want.
Americans and their silly ideas are finally gone.
But 20 years of not
I
only
know.
working like closely with Americans, but with the women too. And it
Yeah.
didn't make a lick of difference.
Nope. That's fucking
No.
crazy.
Yeah.
If men had raised their voices, we might also be in a different situation now, said a male resident of the capital, Kabul, who, like others interviewed for this story, spoke on the condition of anonymity or that only their first name be used due to fears of drawing unwanted scrutiny from the regime. This word alone, spoke. Like women in Afghanistan, they can't even speak. They're not
Right.
allowed to speak in public. So this alone is like, yeah, you get to speak to foreign media. Like a
Right.
woman
Right.
can't do that.
Exactly.
Ugh. Now, everyone is growing a beard because we don't want to be questioned or humiliated, he said.
Oh, no. I mean, women are hauled off to their insane asylum and sometimes they get murdered. So I,
Yeah.
I just can't muster up the sympathy.
But I can't wear jeans.
You have to
Like,
grow a beard. Meh.
die, sir. Oh
Yeah.
my
You wanted this.
Yeah.
No.
The Taliban's new rules governing men pale in comparison with restrictions the government has placed on girls and women, who remain banned from going to school above 6th grade, barred from universities, and were recently prohibited from raising their voices in public, among many other rules.
Mm-hmm.
But newly empowered religious morality officers, known for their white robes, have been knocking over the past 4 weeks on the doors of men in some parts of Kabul who haven't recently attended mosque, according to residents. Government employees said they fear they'll be let go for having failed to grow their beards, and some barbers now refuse to trim them. I just can't help but laugh. Like, oh no, you poor
So
men.
fucking
Like,
dumb. Yeah.
increasingly, male taxi drivers are being stopped for violating gender segregation rules by having unaccompanied female riders in their cars or for playing music.
Yes. We know as soon as you listen to music, you start getting ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, good for those. I think those taxi drivers are trying to. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm looking right now. So let's see here. I'm looking for like quotes from the Quran, but
well, Rosie, Islam is Abrahamic.
yeah.
I mean, they don't believe in Christ and all that, but
No, they do. They absolutely do.
Oh, they do?
Yeah,
But
but they
do
don't
they
believe
think,
that he's the son of God.
okay, so more like a Jewish, he was real but not the son of God type of deal.
Yeah, aside from Muhammad, Jesus Christ is the second most mentioned person in the Quran.
Okay. But yeah, I know that it's still Abrahamic. It's basically the same as any of the major religions. It's just they have
Yeah.
different names for things.
Yeah, it's like Judaism, Christianity, and Islam all believe all of the same stuff as far as like the history of the Bible and stuff. Like they believe in Abraham and King David and like all of the same stuff. It's just Judaism, they don't believe that Jesus Christ was the Messiah. They think the Messiah is still yet to come. And then Islam doesn't believe that he was the son of God. They believe that he was just a prophet like Abraham, King David, etc. But
Yeah.
they believe in him completely. Anyway, I'm looking for verses in the Quran about women not speaking, but I'm not really finding anything. So I also don't claim to be an expert, but anyway.
Yeah, I'm not an expert either. I have a distaste for all religions for the same reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rosie, I can definitely, Christians don't follow their Bible, and I can
Oh, yeah,
definitely
of
see the
course.
Taliban not following the Quran, but there's a lot of shit in the Quran and the Bible that's very questionable, and I, I don't know, can all be interpreted in different ways.
Yeah.
Just like how the fundamentalists interpret the Bible a lot more literally.
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I know in some like it depends on which Islamic scholars you listen to too. Like some Islamic scholars say like listening to music is impermissible, it's haram. But some scholars say no, music is fine. Like it just depends. It's like the same as like, do you follow this pastor or that pastor? Do you follow this rabbi or that rabbi? Like
yeah, no, yeah, that's definitely true.
Just comes down to their interpretation, which is like
Mormons think drinking coffee is on the same level as any drug.
Mm-hmm.
They're very anti, but it's, I don't think there's anything in the Bible about it. They just think that,
Yeah.
Yeah. Mormonism is a little different than, it's got the whole
mainstream Christianity. Yeah.
Right. They believe in the Bible, but they've got a bunch of extra fanfic shit in there.
Part 2.
Right.
Yeah, it's literally fan fiction.
Yeah, it's Bible fan fiction. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so the new laws give the morality police authority to detain suspects for up to 3 days. In severe cases, such as repeated failure to pray in the mosque, suspects can be handed over to courts for trial and sentencing based on their interpretation of Islamic Sharia law. Whoa. Yeah, you cannot be like an atheist in Afghanistan.
Nope. Mm-mm.
I mean, I guess you can be, but you have to perform all of the Islam stuff.
You better go through the motions and not say anything, which is like, are you really free to be? You're not free to be an atheist. You can't say anything about it. You can't not do any of the religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Violations of the new rules are expected to be punished by fines or prison terms, but people found guilty of some infractions, for example, adultery, could be sentenced to flogging or death by stoning.
Awful.
Amir, a resident who lives in eastern Afghanistan, said he supported the Taliban up until the latest restrictions, but he now feels bullied into submission by their morality police.
Unfucking believable.
We are all practicing Muslims and know what is mandatory or not, but it's unacceptable to use force on us, he said. He added, even people who have supported the Taliban are now trying to leave the country.
Sorry, nobody wants you.
Like, it was
I
all
want the
fine.
Taliban.
Like, all the shit they did to your mom and your sisters and your aunts and your cousins
Daughters.
and your daughters. Like, it was
Mhm.
all fine, but jeans and beards, too fucking far.
Yeah. Well, they don't see women as human, as people, as like, yeah, me too, Shane.
Mm-hmm. God. Like, and then
Yeah.
they're whining about it. It's like, what are you talking about?
I really have to wonder what the Afghani women think
Right,
about all this
would
whining.
say if they could speak to somebody.
I'm
Oh my
sure
God.
that the women in the home might confer amongst themselves. I
Oh, I'm
mean,
sure.
really hard to keep everybody down all at once. I
Yeah.
mean, I would hope so, but yeah, like the glances when their idiot brother or father's like, I can't believe they're making me grow a beard. I can't even
Not
leave
my
my jeans."
Levi's.
Yeah, not my Levi's.
Like, come on.
Right. And meanwhile, like they're covered head to toe in complete burqa and they can't speak and they have to like serve and cook all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most men interviewed for this story live in Kabul, the country's most cosmopolitan city, or other urban areas. Residents of more conservative and traditional parts of Afghanistan say they have barely noticed any changes. A male resident of rural Helmand in southern Afghanistan said no one in his village has concerns and such rules have long been customary there. No morality police has showed up here so far. They focus on the cities, which is like just a way to say like we've been being this awful and conservative and gross this whole time, so no one can
Yeah.
notice it. Like,
Right. Right. I mean, historically speaking, cities have always been
yeah.
like the bastion of more modern cosmopolitan thinking, even in the most conservative areas. You get that many people together, you're gonna share ideas. It's inevitable, and you're gonna have challenges and thoughts to consider that you've never experienced before. Whereas in your backwater village where everybody does the same thing, nothing's gonna be challenged in your worldview.
So the new restrictions appear to reflect a broader shift in the balance of power inside the Taliban, with the most conservative elements either gaining influence or seeking to insert themselves more aggressively in urban areas, according to Western officials and Afghan critics of the Taliban. The Ministry of Vice and Virtue. Wow.
Speaking of Harry Potter shit.
Right? Literally.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Which directs the morality police, could not be reached for comment.
Yeah, well,
A former senior official with the Ministry of Vice and Virtue denied that the ministry is increasingly turning into a shadow law enforcement agency, saying its primary responsibility remains preaching.
oh, bullshit. Fucking bullshit.
He spoke on the condition of anonymity because he is no longer authorized to respond to journalists.
Or maybe because you're afraid of your former coworkers or whatever in that law enforcement division who have the power to arrest you and detain you.
Yep. So we've got the faces and heads of mannequins are covered with tinfoil at a men's apparel. Oh, because they don't have beards, I bet.
What the?
At a men's apparel store in Kabul. In Afghanistan's capital, shop windows display dazzling ball gowns and three-piece wedding suits with the face of each mannequin covered. The morality police have asked store operators to hide the mannequins' faces and photographs of models, according to a clothes seller.
I'm sorry. Okay, that's just bizarre. Why don't they just stick fake beards on them?
I don't know. Or like
so bizarre. Like just
or is it that or is it like when you see the face, obviously they look human-like, and then they want to like disassociate humanity from like the freedom to wear what you want. Like
I
if you can dehumanize these mannequins,
I
you
guess,
can
but
condition
like
them to.
they're mannequins though.
I know.
They're not human. And if it really is the beard that's the problem, just stick a fucking fake beard on it. The tinfoil makes it even more uncanny
Bizarre.
and weird.
It's
Like it
so
actually it
weird.
draws more attention to the
Yes.
mannequin than sticking a fake beard on it would.
So bizarre.
It is. It's really weird. And then like those are the fashions they're selling, huh? So they're going to be outlawed?
This sleeveless shirt is 100% against um like standards for men in Islam. I know a man is supposed to cover from um nipple to knee.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
so
weird.
but obviously there's still enough business for this store to be open. So
Yeah.
uh, it just kind of tells me that men are being really whiny about the most minor of restrictions that
So bizarre.
obviously they're not even countrywide because this store would go out of business, right? The store
Mm-hmm.
would have to leave because the Taliban would drive it out saying they're selling haram things.
Mm.
One would think.
One would think. So weird. So the new restrictions on women include a ban on them raising their voices, as in speaking at all, reciting the
Right.
Quran in public, and looking at men other than their husbands or relatives. Women must also cover the lower half of their faces in addition to donning a head covering they were already expected to wear.
You
The,
know that if sorry,
no, no, please go.
you know that if you didn't require your eyes to see where you're going, they'd make them cover their eyes too.
Well, I'm pretty sure most of the time they do have to, right?
Do they?
I mean, I know it says
Like,
lower half of the face, but
do they have like screens they can see through? Yeah.
yeah, they're like, yeah. Let's just look here. And like a lot of them, their hijabs are made of like a chiffon type that is like sheer enough that you can see out of it, but you're
Mm.
still completely covered.
Hey, Sophie.
Hi, Sophie. Yeah, anyway. God. Ugh.
Sorry, do go on.
Yeah. The crackdown by morality police in urban areas where some religious rules had been rarely enforced has heightened anxiety among women. For men, it has come as a shock. A 36-year-old male driver in Kabul said the new restrictions feel enormous and pose a growing hardship for his work. His revenue has declined by 70% since late August, he said, partly because the Taliban has begun enforcing a rule that bans women from traveling alone in taxis.
That's
Yeah,
very
she can't go
interesting.
anywhere without her male chaperone.
That's interesting, though, that so much of his business was women breaking the rules.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, fax machine. I heard about
Yes,
the midwife
medical
thing.
stuff.
Yeah, there were a bunch of women that were just about to graduate and become midwives when the Taliban sent them home, basically, and told them they wouldn't be qualifying.
Yeah,
Um,
the Taliban is now barring women from any medical training.
but like, that, how? What? How? If they can't see male doctors and women can't be midwives, then what? They just you're supposed to give birth alone in a ditch? Like what?
But not even just birth, like,
Mm,
anything,
right,
any condition,
right.
like, that you need
But
to see a doctor for. Like, oh my God.
right, but pregnancy is the most dangerous one.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
it's like how are you going to do that?
yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep. Yeah, literally, guess I'll die meme, honestly.
Right, right. Yeah, 15th Jessica, it does remind me how Western men started whining about a matriarchy when women had equal employment opportunities. So they had more job competition and women weren't settling, had expectations. Yes. The slightest bit of pushback, and it's like, you're an evil feminazi, the matriarchy, gynocentric government.
Oh, tantrums.
Yeah. Like, how dare you even have standards, but no fat chicks? Ooh.
Right. God.
Mm-hmm.
So even in some government offices, a new sense of dread has set in. A former Taliban supporter recalled how a friend who still works for the regime recently had his salary withheld because his beard wasn't sufficiently long. We are hearing that some of the civil servants whose beards were shorter than the required length were barred from entering their departments, said a government employee, speaking on the condition of anonymity because he was not authorized to speak to journalists. That is crazy. Like not that I'm like caping for a man, but like you can't control like how fast or much your hair grows.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I mean, there's men in my own family who can't grow a full beard.
Right?
Like they've tried and they can't. Like it's patchy and it just doesn't grow. So what the heck? Yeah, for real. They're not
Literally.
they're not logical. No.
No. Extremely emotional.
Obsessed with hierarchy and dominance,
Mhm.
and that's what drives these men.
Hi, Sarah. When you have been privileged for so long, equality feels like oppression.
Yeah.
And not all, yes, but also not even just equality, but like a slightly step towards equality.
Yes, and a slight taste of their own medicine feels
Mm,
like oppression too. You know, like sometimes the ladies on social media will try to give it back to the guys, right? And then the guys will have a freaking tantrum about, it's like oh, men are trash, like online, right?
yeah.
Well, let's just ignore the eons of misogyny embedded into our very culture and get
Yeah.
super upset about some, girly on Twitter being like, men are trash because I had bad dates. Like,
Yeah.
but no,
Get real.
these people are the logical, strong gender that deserve to be in charge of everything. They have mastery over their emotions, and we need to listen to them completely because they definitely don't blow everything out of proportion.
Ugh, I know. So ridiculous. They operate from the Ooga Booga brain. Like, did you miss a step of human evolution?
Hey, everybody's been looking for the missing link. Well, here they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
For the past 3 years, Afghan women often felt alone in their anguish. Some grew exasperated by their husband's silence or growing support for the Taliban, which tried to win public favor by building roads and repairing tunnels. Several women said they hope their protests will soon be joined by Afghan men. Men were silent from day one, which gave the Taliban the courage to keep imposing such rules, said a 24-year-old female resident in Kabul. Now the Taliban is finally losing men's support, she said. Others are skeptical whether criticism of the rules can make a difference. In interviews, several Kabul residents said they have begun in recent weeks to look more seriously into leaving the country. But if more young people flee this country, said a male Kabul resident, there won't be any hope at all. I mean, you reap what you sow?
Right. Also, are girls even free to leave this country?
Right. Not without a male chaperone.
Yeah, it's just like I can't feel bad for these guys. I can't. It's missing my sympathy.
I know. Here's a great from Alfalfa. Alfalfa A. You know how we hypothetically say that if men had the capability to get pregnant, there would be a lot more reproductive rights and drive-through abortion clinics? I feel like this is that in action.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like these Afghan men who
Yeah.
are now supposedly anti-Taliban or growing that way, they don't want it. They're not interested in what they want to be the ones controlling
Right.
the women. They want to get rid of the Taliban because the Taliban harshes their mellow or whatever.
Right.
And they want to be like in charge.
Yeah, they want everything to be as it is except for jeans and beards.
Right, right.
Like
Like men
everything that happens to the women, no problem. But my jeans, though.
exactly. Like men should be and can be allowed to be full humans with the full human expression, comfort, everything, freedom of movement, of speech. They just don't like that the Taliban are giving them a tiny fraction of what they give women.
Yeah. Yep. So that's the article. I would look at the comments, but this is on an archivey thingy. So let's just go and see if we might have to have a subscription to look at the comments, but we'll see.
Yeah, exactly, Rosie. If the Taliban tomorrow decided that the whole jeans and beard thing they weren't going to do, they'd be totally cool with them.
Yeah. Go away. Sort by most liked. Let's look at that. And then they came for me. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
These are just all replies. I don't care. Just want to
I
see
do the same thing. I scroll through the replies, especially on Reddit, because a lot of them are stupid joke replies or like tangents that don't matter. I'm like, I want the real comments.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great point, Sharon. Their genes are more important than women's rights to exist.
Yeah. I mean, women can exist as complete tools and servants of men, and that's it. Not as people. Like wife appliances. That's basically it. Although worse.
Boo freaking who for the men of Afghanistan who thought the USA would keep them free while they avoided the hard and dangerous work of keeping the Taliban from taking over.
No, they didn't avoid it. They wanted it.
I know.
They welcomed it.
It was like within hours of the US leaving, they were like
hours. They taunted and jeered the women. They basically told the Americans, don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. And they were like, yeah, come on, Taliban. Yeah. It wasn't that they were avoiding it or they were afraid. They wanted it.
Uh-huh. They came for the women, and I said nothing, for I was not a woman. Yep. Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's what I think too.
Men who watched in silence as women were forced to live under draconian subjugation with punishments up to and including death, and are now shocked to find themselves being treated similarly. This was pre-election. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, under his eye. Yeah, exactly. Like my only quibble with these comments is that the way they're phrased assumes that the men were merely like afraid and standing back and like not wanting to act because they were afraid or they were apathetic. But no, I don't agree with that. I think they cheered it. They wanted it. They welcomed it. They wanted their women to get back to being slaves for them. And yeah. That all the like, the quotes like, oh, that they came for the women and I said nothing because they didn't want to say anything. They wanted
Right, they didn't care.
They got slaves, they got servants for their use and abuse. That's what they wanted.
Yep. Man. Yeah.
I wonder how many of their moms are going to die of like preventable cancers and how many of their wives and sisters are going to die in childbirth because of these stupid rules that don't make any sense.
Yep.
And people talking about Republicans. And that's the thing, like a lot of Americans think like, oh, that's just those weird brown people over there.
Yeah.
It could never happen to us. The groundwork is already being laid.
Don't say that. I mean, I know you're right, but
I mean, I'm not a doomer or anything, don't get me wrong, but I see the increasing acceptance, the increasing amount of misogyny that wouldn't even be thinkable 15 years ago.
I know.
Like the kind of misogyny, like it's very vile and violent. This isn't like 2000s edgy humor, it's got a lot more like oomph behind it. It's got like I would literally kill you if you were in front of me vibes. Or I would literally enslave you if I got you alone type vibes. It's like the whole your body, my choice. Like that's just like, yeah, like that is a new level. not even like shitbags years ago offered that as like an anti-slogan, because that's been the slogan for abortion rights for a long time. And they didn't say that, but now in this moment in history, they've been empowered to just go full bore, mask off. Like I don't care about a woman's humanity. I simply want a slave, and I'm entitled to that slave.
Ew.
It's like that quote. I forget what it originates from, but it was a woman. I think it was a woman, maybe on TikTok, and she was a black woman, and she was like, "Ask a man to describe the perfect wife, and watch him describe a slave."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Ugh. Bad frickin' times.
and the fact
Bad.
that they, yeah, and the fact that they would actually be happy with that arrangement, knowing that this other human being that you are subjugating in your own home cries and is anguished, and her very sovereignty, like her very human dignity, is insulted every day, and you're perfectly happy as a clam with that. That's like what you want, is
Ew.
something I can't wrap my mind around as a thinking human being. Like, I can't understand the drive to like own a person, a person.
It's horrifying.
Yeah.
It's really, really, really awful.
And yet so many men around the world think this way, which is why these religions, the more fundamentalist they get, the more misogynistic they get.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I found this image of the types of like coverings that are required in Islam. But like, yeah, the burqa, this one.
Yeah.
It's,
Okay. I see what
and
you mean by
sometimes it's not even a grate, it's like sheer, like chiffon type fabric.
that. Mm-hmm.
So you can't even see, like, you can't see a woman at all. And I think also the requirement to wear gloves is even a thing. Like, even your fingers are not allowed to be seen.
Wow. It's crazy that out of all these, the hijab, which gets probably the most criticism and traction online, is like the least, covering. You can still see a little bit of her hair, you
Yeah.
know? Oh my God.
Yep.
That's like the most mild one.
I know. Um, yeah. I never
Oh,
wanna.
I'm
What?
so sorry. I heard Ice Goddess just brought up
Oh, Nick and Destiny.
the hot goss of the month.
Yeah. I unfortunately was subject to the video because it was just on my Twitter for you page.
So isn't Destiny one of those dudes that supposedly turned from alt-right into like a leftist YouTuber?
I don't know anything about him.
I'm pretty sure that that happened. He was associated with Vosh, who's a giant dickhole, um, who's also like a leftist, but in that skeevy male feminist leftist type of way. Um, if this is true, if this is the guy I'm thinking of, and I'm not sure, right? I don't know if this is the dude, but he's been doing leftist streaming content for a while now.
Yeah.
Um, it just goes, yep, I knew it. This is him. Okay. So this goes to show that men have a sex class solidarity that goes
Oh
beyond
yeah.
politics. The fact that he and Nick Fuentes, who's like the most pustulous right wing,
Ugh.
turbo misogynistic dude you could ever meet, right? But they will put each other before anything and anyone else. Yeah, see, that's what he used to do, and then he shifted, right? But you know what? This is why I don't trust like popular leftist dudes, right?
Right, of course.
Why would he associate with and or make a sex tape with a man like Nick Fuentes? Unless
Right.
men love and admire and cape for other men beyond the boundaries of politics. I just found the whole sex tape thing disappointing. I was like, this just goes to show that men, they really do like love other men.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes that love is in the literal biblical sense, and most of the time it's just like that's who they reserve all their like humanity for. Even to a leftist guy, like women are a means to an end, and we're just tools and appliances and things to use.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's why I don't trust. I don't care if you voted for Bernie or you supported Bernie Sanders and you present yourself as the most wokest dude in the whole world. Like,
Oh yeah. No way. I don't trust a woke bro.
no, I don't either. And this was just another like little nail in the coffin of exactly why this whole Destiny and Nick Fuentes thing. It's like, it doesn't surprise me. It didn't surprise me. I was like, oh, I mean, I was a little surprised by who, but I was like, yeah, that's actually, yeah.
He is like horrible.
Yeah.
Extremely horrible.
Little troll of a man.
Yeah, and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like a Christian nationalist even. Like, good God.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he's like the most vitriolic, horrible, it neo-Nazi. Like he's all of that.
Yeah. All of those things.
Yeah.
Extremely anti-Semitic. Ugh.
Yeah.
God.
It just doesn't surprise me.
No. Oh, this is good from Sophia. They only love men. You can only love the one in which you see yourself and not in subhuman property.
Yes.
Yeah. God.
Yeah.
Bad times.
It's just bad times all around.
Yeah.
But in better news, Nick Fuentes was arrested and charged with pepper spraying an attack of that.
Oh, I saw that video. Yeah.
Yeah.
At his home, though.
Yeah, but
He was arrested for that?
yeah, because all she did was knock on his door and he opened it up and like fired on her face with pepper. Like
Oh,
she didn't even
so
get
he
to
was.
say or do anything. You can't do that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Even in America, even in gun happy America, you can't just like, I know it wasn't a gun, it was just pepper spray, but still that's considered like assault. You got to be able to prove that the person was threatening or trying to break in, and all she did was knock on the door. Like, what if it was his neighbor or something?
Right.
So,
Just
like imagine your neighbor knocking on, like,
asking for a cup of sugar.
right. The other day, a neighbor returned a package. She's this very old lady that uses a walker, and like she knocked on the door and was very apologetic and was like, "I thought this package was mine. I'm so sorry." Imagine if she opened the door and we just unleashed the fury on this poor woman. Like you can't do that. Even in the most like hoo-ha gun-toting states, like that's not something you do.
Yeah. Oy.
Yeah, you Mace Mormons. Yeah, I can't just the Jehovah's Witnesses that knock on my door, I can't just like open the door and mace them. Like that would be insane. Yep. There he
Posted
is.
his own mugshot.
There's his mugshot. He's probably very proud of pepper spraying that 57-year-old vegan feminist woman.
Right.
She posed such a threat to him. Weak punk ass.
Oh my God, I hate dudes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is like a daily occurrence where I live. Not literally, but like they're everywhere. I see them all over town all the time in their white shirts and black name tags.
Ice Goddess, they're really very nice, like on the surface. Just don't get involved in their cult, you'll be fine.
Yeah, no, their whole cult is like conditioned them to be extremely friendly and nice.
Yeah.
But you know, that's all part of it.
I had 2 Mormon boys help clean snow off my car.
Oh yeah, they will happily do anything they're asked.
Yes. Oh, I have this major Charlie horse in my left foot. And I'm dying over here. I'm like, oh my God, this hurts so bad. Oh my God, what the heck?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm trying to stretch it out.
I'm actually listening. There's this podcast I love. It's called Someplace Underneath. And it's two women who talk about it's like true crime-ish, but specifically they only talk about missing and murdered women. So all of their content is just about the stories of women. And they're currently doing an insane series on the history of Mormonism, because it's a pretty bad religion for women.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, that series is currently happening right now.
Ooh, I love your podcast recommendations. I got to add this to the pile.
Yeah, it's very good. They also did an incredible series on the Quiverful.
Oh yeah,
like the Duggar cult, the Duggar family movement, the Quiverful movement. They did a great multi-episode series on that whole thing. It was very interesting.
So way back in the day, even before the Duggars, I read a blog. Yeah, Quiverful. There was a blog called No Longer Quiverful by a woman who left the whole Quiverful thing. And it was such an illuminating and enlightening blog. And I read the shit out of it. Like, it was so fascinating. I don't know if it still exists.
Oh, Vicki Garrison?
Yeah, maybe.
No Longer Quivering was her.
No Longer Quivering, that's it. Yes, No Longer Quivering.
She has a Wikipedia page.
Yep, that's her.
You know what I learned?
Name.
Yeah, the other day? Oh, fuck, what the hell is her name? Damn it. The woman who in like the early 90s, Yates?
Oh, Andrea
Yates. Her family were Quiverful.
It doesn't surprise me.
Man, I
was gonna guess Quiverful or Mormon.
I did she just came across my timeline or something, and I did a deep dive about her story, and like it's actually so fucking sad and horrible what happened to this woman.
I know. Yeah, I feel really bad for her.
Me too. Like I remember it was oh my God, so much for help. And all of the doctors supporting her, like, warned her husband, said, do not ever leave her alone with the children. Like, do not. And he insists, oh my God, it's so sad. Like, I remember when this case was just like in the news, like, I was like, oh my God, this woman murdered all of her children. But like, no, there was so many years leading up to a completely preventable tragedy. Because her husband belonged to the Quiverful movement, and they believe that God decides how many children you have. He consistently like stopped allowing her to take her psychiatric medications. So that she could get pregnant and stay pregnant. And like all of her psychiatrists and doctors were saying, do not leave her alone with the children, never ever do. And he was like, yeah, she's fine, and did all the time anyway. And like she kept on saying, like, I need help. Like she was actually
it wasn't just the doctors. She herself was like, no, I can't do this. I feel these weird things. I'm please help me. Like there's something wrong with me.
Yeah, it's so sad what like happened. And then the husband was just free to start a new family, which he has since divorced.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah, he threw away like garbage.
Sorry, I feel like I'm just spilling everywhere. Apparently, I think Andrea Yates was up for parole very recently, and she herself said, I don't want to go before the parole board. I am choosing to stay in prison.
Oh, maybe she feels just too guilty about what she did.
Right. Like, oh, it's so sad.
Yeah. I mean, she's not an evil person. She was
extremely sick. Like she is like the picture child for not guilty by reason of insanity.
Insanity. Yeah. Yeah. Didn't
Like,
she think that she was saving her children by killing them? Like
I
sending them
don't,
to heaven?
potentially, yes.
Like giving them back to God almost. Yeah, life sucks. Andrea Yates is the one that drowned her kids in the
Yes.
bathtub. Yeah.
Oh
Very.
my God, it was so sad. But literally, like she was so mentally not well and
Mhm.
repeatedly failed by her husband, who
Yeah.
kept her unwell essentially so that he could keep knocking her up. So fucking sad.
I even have to look sideways at the doctors because even though they were warning him, they were still deferring to what he wanted.
Damn.
And I wonder if they were like doctors in the same community, like the quiverful super fundamentalist, where they, they would say his name was Rusty, her husband's name was Rusty.
Yeah.
And they would say to him, like, your wife, we have concerns. But ultimately, in the end, what did they really do? I mean,
I
I
mean,
don't
she
know.
was hospitalized a lot of times for her mental health and suicidal ideations and stuff.
I don't know. I guess it's easy to say in hindsight that, but I don't know. Just such a shame.
It is so sad. Crazy.
Men don't create life.
No.
That's why they
Um,
create religions.
mhm. I feel like so many crimes committed by women are like because of a man in some way. Like women just don't, I mean, obviously some women do heinous shit, but
Hmm.
almost never like of their own volition. Like it's like they're in an abusive relationship and like going along with the guy, or like they're um I don't know, running drugs for a guy, or they're like it's almost never like an independently arrived to thing that women do, like seriously heinous crimes.
Yeah, I do feel the same way you do. Um, you like my whole thing. The thing I always say is you can never say always or never with
Right.
humanity. You're always going to find some weirdo somewhere, right?
Yeah, of
Because there's like
course.
8 billion people on this planet, so there's going to be somebody who's not going to fall under the always or never dichotomy. But yes, like the vast majority of women don't do the violent crime.
Yeah. Or like you'll see like, I don't know, like headlines about like, woman arrested and charged with child abuse, child endangerment, child neglect, whatever. And it's like, oh, it was her and the husband or the boyfriend. And it's like, she was probably just as abused and neglected and was like just trying to survive. As awful as it is, like, it's going to be the man that's in the picture pretty much always who's actually leading the charge here.
Yeah, there's a lot of women in jail because they got involved with the wrong dude.
Oh, yeah.
A lot. Or they took the fall for him even.
Right, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, it's almost
Yep.
never of, almost never. It's so rarely a woman's own volition.
Yeah. I mean, there's like prisoner testimonials you can see on YouTube about that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and a lot of I mean, I can't say much for like their wisdom factor. Like they take the fall for these dudes, and I think it's a failure of society. Like, don't listen to this guy. He's promising to stay with you, but
Yeah.
as soon as she's in the clink, he's just moved on to the next woman.
The next one.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Perfect from Alfalfa. If there's anything I learned from true crime, A, solo women usually kill in caretaking roles. Yep. And
Yep.
B, women who do sexually sadist crimes are almost always paired with a much more violent male partner. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Agree.
what's her name? Myra Hinckley.
Who's that?
She's a famous killer that was with a dude back in the 60s or 70s.
Oh, Myra Hindley, Ian Brady.
Hindley.
Yeah, the
Yeah, yeah.
Moors murders.
More
Yeah.
murders. Yeah. But her accomplice was a guy, and he was, I mean, she was definitely evil and participating, but like, I feel like his fetishes and his
Yeah, but without
desires.
him, would she had gone to that independently?
Nah, I don't
No.
think so.
Right.
I don't think so.
Same with Rose West. No.
Well, Rose West was abused sexually by her father her entire life, and her family was super fucked up. So like you grow up in that kind of environment, it just becomes
Mhm.
normal for you. And then when I think she became a prostitute later on, and her father was one of her customers. It's like
God.
that kind of fucked up. So like you got to think a woman
Mm,
raised in that kind of family and environment, like would you be normal? I don't know.
of
I don't think
course not. How
I
could you
don't right.
be?
Hmm. It just
Ugh.
so happened that she found a guy who was twisted and sadistic and
Yeah, and
homicidal.
when you literally do not know any different or better, like her father was sadistic and evil.
Yeah.
She didn't know any different.
Yeah. Plus, she spent her whole life basically being the victim of all the men around her's desires.
Right.
And
So
yeah.
when that's the case also in your adult and intimate life, like that's just what you think life is.
Yeah. If your husband's like, let's go kidnap and murder some teenage girls, you're going to be like, well, that's what it's what we do. It's just what we do. It's what he wants me to do. So I'm going to do it.
Right. Oh, it's so sad.
Hmm.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. When I see women on those like scared straight shows, their crimes are like accessory to child abuse, theft. And then men's are like assault and battery, first degree murder, kidnapping.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mm, bad
Yeah,
time.
we've talked about true crime here before,
Hmm.
and I have mixed feelings on the genre as a whole.
Yeah, definitely.
I still like, and I have to take breaks from it. Like, I'll go through a phase where I'll listen to it. I'm also very picky about what I listen to. Like, it's got to be professional and non-sensational and not blaming the freaking victims, which happens more often than you'd
Yeah.
think.
And also not like jokey. Like we don't
Yeah.
want like, cocktails and crime.
Yeah,
Like
no, no, no.
no.
People died, Becky, okay?
Literally. Like
Like, shut up.
it's okay to talk about like these stories, but
Yeah.
in a respectful way that like gives respect and honor to the victims. Like it's okay to
Yes.
share the stories of what happened, but not in a jokey like here's our on theme cocktail for the episode. Like
Right.
no.
I also prefer ones that go into the lives of the victims.
Yeah.
So there's certain ones that'll talk about the killer and how the killer grew up and the killer's whole life until they murdered this person, right? But I like the ones that flip it. They talk about the victim and how she was and her life until,
Yeah.
that fateful day and stuff. And then the killer, that they might talk a little bit about him, just for the history aspect of it, but the focus is on the victim. It's not like, oh man, look how cool this killer is.
Uh-huh. Ugh.
Look how fanboy we are about this killer. Like, I can't stand those ones.
Mm-hmm. Me
Oh
neither.
man, tapeworm.
Yeah,
They're
that's
they're
not
super popular though. Like they are popular, and I just don't get it.
I
Like,
know. Well, okay. If there's anyone who wants decent true crime podcast recommendations, I think Southern Fried True Crime is a good one.
mm,
She's but I think she's on a break because she had surgery, so she'll be back eventually. But she's like very to the point and very respectful and nice and normal. My favorite one is True North True Crime, which is Canadian stories. But there are two
mm.
very, and they all of their episodes feature like interviews with loved ones.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah. I
so
like
they
that
get to tell
too.
the story. Yeah, so that's really nice. I'm trying to think of some other good like normal people podcasts,
Normal people.
right? Like just
That's weird
uh,
shit. Murder and makeup. Ooh.
ugh, yeah.
Yeah. Like what the fuck, indeed, enlightened female.
Yeah. Like there was one I used to listen to, but I have not listened to it in years. And it was literally called Wine and Crime. And they would literally like be like, this episode's on theme wine brand is blah blah, blah. And it would be
Ooh,
like on theme of what the crime was. And I'm like,
what?
mm. That was
Uh,
years ago though, and then I smartened up and was like, you know what? This is not appropriate.
yeah,
Hmm.
definitely not. That's kind of stuff just gives me the heebs.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, you're using this as an advertising
Ooh,
opportunity. Ugh.
Case File. Case File is another really good one.
Oh, I'm actually
The
subscribed to
Australian one.
Case Files. Yeah,
Yeah.
Case File or Case Files.
Yeah. That's a good
Yep.
one. Um, it's not true crime related, but there is one podcast that I fucking love that's called This Podcast Will Kill You. And it's two women who are PhD disease ecologists.
Oh,
And
is this medical
they
mystery fit?
kind of, so it's not a medical mystery, but it's more like they'll give you the episodes are like they'll talk about a disease per each episode, and they'll talk about
Mm,
like the first known ever recordings of this disease, what it does to the human body, what the
fascinating.
status of the disease is in the world today. Like they've done like Ebola, they've done like
Yeah.
H1N1, like just literally everything. It's very interesting, and these women have actual PhDs, so it's really really interesting.
See,
And
I
they're
like.
both named Aaron.
Oh, that's cool. There's
Yes.
coincidence. They're just both named Aaron.
Yeah,
That's funny.
it's really interesting and
I
super
love
informative.
medical shit. To me,
Mm.
is fascinating.
Do you know
And like,
Mr. Mullen's Medical Mysteries?
oh yeah, I think I was the
Okay.
one that told you about that one, and then you
Oh,
said
okay.
you already knew about it.
Okay,
I
yeah.
I love that. I wish there was more episodes. I feel like he devotes more time to his mystery stories rather than the medical ones.
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, I love that. The thing with medical stuff is like it's very unfortunate and tragic, but there's no perpetrator and victim. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just
It's just a thing
it's
that can happen in life.
it is. It's like biology. It's um, disease. It's the great equalizer. It can happen to anyone.
Hmm.
And sometimes the way the doctors or researchers discover and you know find out how to fight it is really satisfying, especially if the podcast is like about somebody they saved. And like
Ooh.
I love that. Like, so this person's suffering with a mystery illness for a long time and they just can't figure out what's wrong with them, and then finally somebody figures it out over a long time and then they recover, and then now the world knows about whatever this thing is, right?
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Somebody mentioned Sawbones, and I just looked it up. It says
Oh.
it's a weekly podcast hosted by a husband and wife duo, Dr. Sidney McElroy and Justin McElroy. Together, they
Mm.
cover antiquated medical practices and rare disorders. That sounds up my
Ooh, it sounds up my alley too. I love
alley. Look for it
antiquated
right
shit.
Yes, all like the funky, like he's got ghosts in his blood. Like,
His ghost in his blood. I love that meme. Better give him more cocaine.
exactly. I'm gonna look at that one right now and subscribe to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I find the medical ones just a lot less
Hmm.
hashtag problematic.
Oh, for
You know,
sure.
true crime, you really kind of have to vet that shit, but medical mysteries is different. It's a human condition, being sick,
Hmm.
having a weird thing go wrong with the body, and people have to figure out what the heck's going on with you. The only thing that has perpetrators and victims though is like purposely caused environmental disasters. Like it's
Oh,
hard to,
yeah.
yeah,
Or like
like listen,
biomedical warfare.
yeah, or like chemical dumping or lax or negligent chemical
Mm-hmm.
dumping.
Mm-hmm.
That can be sad, but like if it's just like a medical mystery, a rare disease or some congenital thing that they don't know about, it can be fascinating to hear the process of that.
Yes. Agreed. I'm just looking at lists of medical podcasts now, but none of them sound all that interesting. Some of them are like very like they're clearly podcasts for doctors.
Yes, yes. I wish I were a doctor, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't want the schedule.
No kidding. Oh my god.
Right.
No thanks. No thanks.
Yes. I'm kind of reading through the chat.
Yes.
Y'all
Good
are just
times.
firing off.
I'm also a big nerd for history podcasts.
I know.
Love history. I'm a big nerd.
I listened to the one you recommended me.
Which one?
What frickin' A? What was it? My
The
memory is like
Ancients or the Fall of
yeah,
Civilizations?
the Ancients.
I listened to a great episode of that today.
I've been trying to go through the backlog.
Yeah.
Because when I do a new podcast, I hate how they do the newest first. I'm like,
I
no, I
know.
want
Sort by oldest. Yes.
right. Like I want to listen to all of it. And if the
I
new
do the same.
yeah, like if the old episodes are a little janky, I might like fast forward 5 or whatever to see if they
Yes.
polish up a bit. But like, yeah, I don't like that whole newest first thing. I want to see the process, man. I want to see where it goes.
Ask a mortician.
Oh yeah.
Know that.
I found an amazing YouTube channel that I love. She's Australian.
Ooh.
I need to find out her name because I again have the memory of a goldfish. And
is it Caitlin Doty? Dofty?
No. That is Ask a Mortician.
Oh, okay. I've seen her face before now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, I find the death industry pretty interesting too.
Me too. I would have loved to be a mortician in another lifetime.
Yeah, I honestly considered it for a long time, actually, going to like funeral director school.
Mm-hmm.
I never found myself there, but it was something I had considered.
Yes, me too. The only thing that puts me off to that is when you get the real gnarly ones. Like especially as a medical examiner, you get some real decomposed or like violent ones, and I don't know.
Yes.
It just seems like it would be. Damn it! I can't find this. I wish subscriptions you could sort by newest subscribed, because then I would definitely find her because I just subscribed to her. Where are you, my friend? She did a video on Caitlin Doty, Ask a Mortician. Yeah.
Yeah, did everybody get their Spotify Wrapped? Because mine was, I think I'm just looking at mine for podcasts right now because it was insane.
Somebody posted, I think it was Ballistic posted on the chat that she's like, she got into her mall goth emo era or something like that. So funny. I was like, that makes me want to go have a Spotify because.
Oh yeah, it's so funny some of the things they came up with. But where is my podcast one? Hold on, because when you hear the amount of minutes I spent listening to podcasts. Boy.
Oh, and then that's like my my hours in certain games that we will not speak of.
You spent 40,344 minutes listening to podcasts this year.
Ooh, at least it's just minutes, not hours.
Yeah. Well, 40,344. That's 672 hours. That's around 2 hours a day.
I mean, I feel like it's not even that much.
Yeah.
You're like, I beg to differ.
I listened to more. I mean, I guess on average it's 2 a day, but yeah, I listen to podcasts at least 2 to 3 hours a day because I'm working alone. What kind of music do I listen to? I listen to a little bit of everything, honestly. My heart and soul lies in punk rock. But I listen to pop music, rap, hip hop, country, classical. I love a good classical. There's a playlist on my Spotify that's called Essential Waltzes. Like I love all kinds of music. Listen, Sophie, get out of here. um yeah, I listen to a lot, but punk rock and like metal, like the heavier stuff is really where my heart and soul really is. I love screamo. Um, I love a little bit of everything. My favorite, most beloved band of all time is The Used. Um, oh, I could cry. I love them so much. um, but speaking of Spotify Wrapped, my number one song this year, which I called before the Wrapped came out, was Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. So, yeah. Yes, I love a good screamo band.
Yeah.
Feel it in my soul.
Yes. Emo will never die. Dang it. Still trying to find that dumb channel.
Oh, my music minutes listen. Somebody just said, you want to drop your listening music? Where the heck? Enlightened Female said it. My music listened minutes was 84,074. Oh boy. That puts you in the top 2% of listeners worldwide.
I mean, like what you said, how you work while listening. I do the same thing. If you looked at my YouTube hours, because I use YouTube as a podcast vehicle,
Yeah.
a lot of time, like I'll go to do podcasts, but then sometimes I'll get burnt out on podcasts and I'll go back to YouTube. It would look like I literally have zero life at all,
Oh
and
yeah,
all I do
same.
is yeah.
Yeah. So I work alone, so I get to listen to a lot of whatever I want. So I don't have to like play, and also because I'm alone, I don't have to play like office appropriate music. Like I can listen to whatever the fuck I want. So it's all podcasts and whatever music I want, which I'm super lucky about.
Indeed. I love that. I love working alone. It's great.
It's the best. It is the best. Yeah. Good times.
I agree.
Sometimes I listen to the same song 15 times in a row because nobody can tell me not to.
Oh, I do that too. I listen to something I love over and over until it loses meaning. And then I'm like,
and then you do it to death, and then you're like, oh, okay, it's out of my system now.
And then a couple years later, I'm like, oh yeah, I love this song.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. I like everything too. I don't think there's a genre that I hate, like in totality, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more into like alternative music.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, like I also like instrumentals and weird new agey shit too.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yep. I like the lo-fi hip hop, like just steady beats or whatever.
Beats to study too. Yes.
Exactly.
I like that too. I like prog rock. I do. Unfortunately. But yeah, a lot of the stuff I do like Rush. Yeah, I do.
Inside joke.
I like I don't know how to describe the genre, but I like stuff like the Flaming Lips and Regina Spektor.
Mm-hmm.
And like
I'm blocked by Regina Spektor on Twitter.
Oh, is it because you're an evil TERF?
Well, I don't, but I mean, maybe, but also like, how would she, like, how did I come into her radar?
Who knows? That's really
like, how
weird.
did she find me to block me? Like, and yeah.
Maybe somebody who worked with her, like, decided to search up all the rad femme channels on Twitter and just block them preemptively. I don't
Maybe, but
know.
it's my personal Twitter is the thing.
That's really weird. I don't know. Regina Spektor hates you personally.
Yeah, that's so funny.
That's so weird. That makes me wonder about her now. I'm like, dude, why are you doing that?
I don't know.
Yeah, me too, Irradiated Woman. I love them. I love like Emily Haynes, who does Metric. She's awesome.
Oh yeah, I've seen Metric live.
Yeah, I love the Shins. Like
Mhm.
my brother says my music taste is like insufferable college pop rock. And
That's awesome.
but I also really love a lot of 80s and 90s music. This is what I grew up with. You know, I was a kid in the 80s, so
Yep.
like I'll never not love 80s music. So
Oh yeah,
yeah.
same. Like
Yeah.
what do you love like 80s music wise?
Oh man, my favorite song I think has to be Take on Me by Aha.
Ah,
Mainly
classic.
because like the music video,
I know
okay,
it was iconic for its time. Like,
that
yeah.
literally got me into like art and comic art. And
Hmm.
I used to draw, like I was an illustrator for years. And that video is like, imagine I watched it when I was like 5 years old. It blew my tiny mind. I was like,
Yeah, it's
whoa,
so cool.
it was so cool. I like, I like so
It's a
many
great
things
song
from the
too.
80s.
Another iconic 80s music video is Sledgehammer
Oh yeah. Yep.
by Peter
Yep.
Gabriel. That's an iconic
Yep.
one.
Like I love Peter Gabriel. I like another iconic one is Dire Straits, Money for Nothing.
Oh yeah, I love Dire Straits.
Me too. I
Yeah.
have many songs on my
Yes.
phone from them. I love them.
Yeah, I love Dire Straits.
Like yeah. Is I want to say that is Walk of Life Dire Straits? Pretty sure it is.
No, it's Brothers in yeah, Brothers in Arms. That's the name of the album it's on, right?
Yeah. Sometimes I
Yeah,
think
it is
things
Dire Straits. I
okay,
love that
yeah.
song too. Beep, beep.
Yeah, so imagine being like a kid in the 80s and there's this 19-year-old dude working on his car and his name is Neil and every kid in the neighborhood like idolizes this guy and he wears a bandana and he listens to Dire Straits and like that becomes like the anthem of your childhood as you run the streets. Core memory.
That's so good.
All us kids used to annoy the ever living fuck out of this kid because we thought he was like the coolest dude in the whole world. We were like, "Hey Neil, are you working on your car?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he'd blast his box. It was amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah, he didn't want anything to do with us kids, but we love that guy.
Of course. That's so funny.
He always was working on his car. He made himself available to all the annoying neighborhood kids. So
Yep.
you had to come and be like, "Hey Neil, guess what? Hey Neil."
Wonder where Neil is today.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, he was like 19 when I was 6.
Right. This is so cool.
So he's not like super duper older than me, but I don't know. Neil, yeah, he wore like a American
W in the
flag.
chat for Neil.
Exactly, he wore like an American flag bandana, and he like 80s cool all the way.
Oh, very Bruce Springsteen.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, he played a lot of Bruce too. Yeah.
Um. What's that song? One of my favorite songs of all time is fucking hell.
Oh, you told me this once.
I'm blanking.
Was it? Oh, wait.
Got a bad desire. I'm on fire.
Yes,
Thank you.
I'm on fire.
Oh, I love that song so much.
That is a good one. That's
It's one of my
Springsteen.
favorites. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Tried to get, because Bruce Springsteen was on tour this year, and I tried to get tickets, but Ticketmaster sold them out
Still
immediately.
around. Is he coming out in a walker and IV bag?
He's doing just fine. He's still Bruce Springsteen as he ever was.
It's just so funny how freaking old some of these people are getting.
I know.
And yet they're
Mhm.
still kicking. They're going.
Yep. Oh my god, this is so cute. I remember reading The Outsiders and wanting to be a greaser. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was the cutest thing ever. When my sister was in like grade 8 or 9, so 13-ish, her school did a like they did The Outsiders as a play, but cast entirely by girls.
Oh, that's
So all
cute.
the girls played all the greasers and they had like their hair like slicked back and oh, it was so cute.
I love that.
Yeah, it was
That's
awesome.
awesome.
All of the gang were played by girls. It was great. That's a
Oh, I've never heard of Material Girl by Saucy Santana because I'm too old. To me, that'll always be Madonna. Unless we're
yeah,
talking about a different Material Girl.
right. Of course, it's
I don't
Madonna.
even know who Saucy Santana is.
Me neither. I've never heard of that. Saucy Santana, American rapper. He began his career as a makeup artist for the hip hop duo City Girls. Oh, so he's not like old school. It's new.
Yeah, I would have thought you'd be more apt to know who Saucy Santana is because you're like a rap peep, but
Rap gal. No, I don't
rap
know that.
gal.
Maybe if I heard it, I might, but it's not
Yeah.
coming to me.
I do have to say for the people in the chat wishing they were born a little earlier, I have to say that being a kid in the 80s and a teen in the 90s was pretty freaking sweet. I'm a little biased, but I don't have any complaints about that really.
Yeah, I was a baby in the 80s and a kid through the 90s. And
Oh.
like my 90s childhood was it was pretty good.
Yeah, I think the 90s was like the last
Yeah.
era where before like the rise of the social media conglomerate
Hmm.
corpo invasion that we are experiencing now. So,
Yeah.
yep. Yeah.
Yep. Good times.
Yeah. 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 We're like 9 years apart.
Yeah,
About
about that.
that. Hmm. Yep. I feel like it's the people who remember 9/11 versus the people who don't.
Oh my God. I know it's hard for me to imagine people who don't
Yeah.
or like I
And you
remember
have
reading,
to remember it. Like you can't have been too young to remember it. You have to like it has
yeah,
to be in a conscious memory of that day.
yes. And for those of us who do remember that day, it like changed things forever, which is crazy.
It did.
But I remember reading a post on like Tumblr or something that was like a person who was like 13, 14, 15, and like their school went on a field trip to Ground Zero
No.
recently. And they were just like
Oh, okay.
to them, it's just like another, like, another museum you get dragged to. Like they
Oh,
didn't, like,
right. Like
they
another
just
dumb
have
field
no,
trip.
they have
Yep.
no like feeling about it because they weren't alive when it happened. So, I mean, I get that. But for those of us who really were, it was like, oh, the world is actually scary and dangerous now.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Oh, born in 2001.
Whoa, tapeworm.
You're just 3 years older than my
A
child.
child.
My child. My
Yes.
spawn. Yep.
2001. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, I know. When I think of the 80s or 90s, I imagine old movies and shows. I know. Like people that age, they think of the 80s and 90s the way I think of like the 60s and 70s, which is like, wait a second,
Yep.
wait a second, wait a second.
And for me, it's the 50s and 60s. Like,
Yeah.
we talked about this on a stream ages ago, but like how the oldies category was always for like my grandparents' music back in the 50s.
Yes.
And now oldies are like the 80s and 70s. It's crazy.
Uh-huh. Green Day and Blink 182 on the classic rock
What
station.
the hell? No, that's illegal. It should not be allowed.
Oh,
Tapeworm, you were
wow.
you were in your mama's belly when 9/11 happened. Yep. You were a fetus.
Yeah. Yes, happy birthday to the December babies.
Oh yeah, happy birthday. I always felt like you guys totally got cheated of a
No
birthday.
kidding.
I'm sorry that you were born in December because it's like, oh, we're going to combine your birthday and Christmas this year.
Yeah. I heard the saddest thing ever one time from somebody I know whose birthday is on Christmas Eve. They
No.
said they've said they have never had birthday wrapping paper on their presents.
Oh, so
It's
sad.
only been Christmas paper. I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of sad.
It is. It's like a little small thing that
I know.
means the world to a kid, but as an adult, you just don't think of it. You're like, yeah, I've got like a million rolls of Christmas paper, so you're getting Christmas paper.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm a July
I was
Cancer.
gonna say, what's everybody's birth month? What's your sign?
I'm a Cancer. What are you?
I know, Gemini.
Gemini.
Yeah, probably the least Gemini you'll ever meet, according to the stereotype.
Okay. To look up traits now. Gemini traits.
Apparently, we're super extroverted and we're flitting around everywhere, and that's not me at all.
What's like the co-star? That's like the big one.
Is it? Ooh.
Yeah. The twins.
The twins.
Air element. Mercury.
Yeah.
Gemini traits. Charismatic, I would say so.
Oh, really? I think charisma is my dump stat, but okay.
Oh. Uses humor as a crutch. I mean, you're pretty funny.
But I'd say I do that too. I don't like to talk about like emotional things. I'll probably make a joke.
Oh, I am very Cancerian in the emotions. Yes.
I can do. Look, I mesh well. Just I don't really put a lot of stock in astrology generally, but like in experience, I've known Cancerians, and as long as they can handle me like blowing them off with a joke about my own feelings, I'll be more than happy to listen to them talk about their feelings. It just depends on the mood I'm in. If I'm in the mood to be deep and like emotional, I can do that. But like, remember how earlier today Joan was talking about that circle where people tell you about their feelings?
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh. Ugh. Don't ask me what my feelings are. I'm fine.
Funny.
Fine.
Could talk to a brick wall is kind of funny.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Knows a little about everything.
Maybe. I know a lot of useless trivia. Although up there it says argument is flirting, and I have to say I hate that. I hate that whole, and I hate when they do it in fiction.
Yeah.
Like how it's supposed to be like enemies to lovers, and all they do is disrespect and snipe and banter with each other, and I can't stand it. Ugh.
Let's see. Geminis are very intelligent and pick up knowledge quickly. Perceptive, analytical, and often very funny. I agree.
Yeah, maybe.
Versatile, comfortable being both introverts and extroverts. Adapt to the energy of the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say that's true. Although if I'm going to a party, I need a lot of time afterwards to like recharge alone. Like if we were roommates and I came home after a party, I wouldn't talk to you for like 2 hours, but it's not personal.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah.
Okay, let's look at Cancer. That's me. Cancer. The crab, which is funny because coconut crabs are like my favorite animals.
I know. That was so cute last time you were like,
I love them.
I'm like, did you know Amelia Earhart was killed by coconut crabs?
Cute. Sensitive. Sometimes seeks comfort.
I don't know. I feel like you're a very resilient Cancer with a hard outer shell.
Yeah. I think when I think of sensitive, I'm like I will cry very easily at like emotional things. Like the other night, I just watched an hour and a half of like hope core TikToks and cried the entire time, and then I was exhausted.
That's very Cancerian. Okay.
Forgives but never forgets. I think that's true about me. Only has one boundary, but is very firm. I'm good at boundaries.
Yeah.
I'm also very much this.
Yeah. I can see it.
Let's see.
Emotional
pack mule, best career.
Oh my God, that's not a career, co-star.
Free hugs booth operator.
Oh, they're all jokes. Okay, I'm like, what the heck?
That's
Oh
funny.
man,
But
I want to see mine too. I didn't even
okay,
notice this section. That's
let's
awesome.
since I I'll go back to yours. Let me find
That
it.
one influential elementary school teacher. That's funny.
Okay, likable politician, quirky
Quirky
side
side
character,
character. No. Devil's advocate. I mean,
bubblegum rapper, joke writer.
oh no.
That's really
Twitter
cute.
No, not the Twitter personality.
Oh,
Oh
that's
my
so
God.
funny.
Apparently, though, your rising sign, according to the astrology girlies online, is the one that determines your personality more. So it's whatever time you were born, you can
Oh
figure out your
God. How to
rising
find your
sign.
rising
What's your
sign?
rising
I
sign?
don't
Because
know.
it like influences, which is they say this is why sun signs like Gemini and Cancer doesn't always describe you fully because it's your rising sign influencing, and then all the other like signs and all your other houses and whatnot can do that too. So
Oh boy.
oh
Cancers are way down by their sorrows
yeah.
and the sores of those around them. Sounds
Mhm.
familiar to me.
Yes, I would say so too.
Huh, that's funny. Okay, let's see. How to find your rising sign. Calculate your rising sign.
You've got to know where you were born and the time you were born.
I do know those things.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Oops. I'm not going to share my screen because I'm not going to tell y'all that much personal info about myself.
Indeed. That's fine.
Um, let's see here. Time
We
of birth.
we
I
figured
do,
out exactly when and where Radical Ramblings was born.
right? Okay, I was born at.
Mhm.
Oh, wait a second. Is this in the 24-hour clock? Yes, it is. Okay, hold on. Place of birth. Okay, yep, that's the one. Why does this website not scroll? Okay, calculate. So my rising sign is Pisces. That's interesting. That's my sister's sign.
Oh, that means you're like extra squishy.
Cancer, Sun, Pisces, rising. Uh, Cancer, Sun, astrology profile. My moon
Oh,
is a Leo.
ice goddess. Their emotions
Yeah,
are like an exposed nerve, and I took that personally.
time.
How dare you?
Okay, so what is it? It doesn't say anything about. Okay, so I'm a Pisces rising.
So, like, what website are you on? Still CoStar? Because I
No.
find Cafe Astrology does a really good breakdown of your
Oh, here
birth
we go.
chart.
Okay, hold on. Oops.
Yeah.
Pisces ascendant, Pisces rising. That's me. Okay. Go with the flow.
Ooh.
They move. Well, I don't think that's true about me.
You're not directionless.
No.
That's kind of a backhanded insult. Like, hey,
Right? Okay. Yeah. Quiet and shy. Another day talkative and passionate.
mm,
Soft hearted. Yes. The
yeah, but I
rest.
wouldn't say you're impressionable. I think you've
No.
got a very strong sense of self and what you believe in. Maybe when you were younger, I didn't know you when you were younger though.
Yeah. This is not true about me. I mean, I know this is all
Mm,
just for fun, but
yes, of course. This is not science. PSA.
yes. Huh. Do you know what your rising is?
Scorpio.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
How do
Yep.
you? Oops. Search. Scorpio rising.
Yeah, Gemini sun, Scorpio rising. I don't know. Ooh.
Oh,
The love horoscope.
wait.
No,
How
I'm just
what
kidding.
where's just the traits? Sun no. Okay,
I
hold on.
don't know.
Scorpio rising traits. Maybe that'll
Uh,
where's Cafe Astrology?
I know.
Where
It's
is
so
it?
easy. Yeah.
Why is it not like one of the first?
Dang
So rude.
it.
Oh my god, helps if I can type, but at least we got there.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. They are not to be pushed around. Their manner commands respect, in some cases, fear.
Oh no, maybe, I don't know.
They see through superficiality.
I would say so. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Intimidating to some, intriguing to others. Ooh.
Look for answers by reading between the lines.
Yeah, how many times do I come up with weird theories and analysis about stuff we talk about?
All the time. It's awesome. Value their privacy. Can border on paranoia.
Not really.
Experts
I'm pretty open.
Yeah, I would think
Experts in strategy. The art of war.
Down-to-earth natural partners. Reliability is important to them.
Yes.
Good night, Sophie. Thanks for being here.
Sophie.
Oh, enjoy the tea party. That's a better spent time, I think.
Thanks for joining us in Astrology Hour. Enjoy
exactly.
Fun. Yeah.
Fun.
Neat.
Oh, man. Let's see. Emotional. Yes, I am emotional. Nurturing, sensitive. Yes. But not in like a bad way. Like I just.
Oh, no. Yeah. I feel
intuitive.
like you wouldn't have the job that you have or be good at it like you are if you were not those things. Yeah.
I think this applies. I am pretty strong in who I am.
Yes.
100%. I'm also super loyal.
Mm-hmm. But once, if that loyalty is crossed.
Oh, yeah.
Most cancers I know, it's like they put the shell back up,
Exactly.
Yep.
Homebodies, yes.
Yep.
That's true. I don't think I'm artistic, though, at all.
Yeah.
I have no skills in that department.
Yeah, you strike me as a lot more like of the mind, like analytical, rather than artistic.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
Curious, Geminis.
I would say so.
Thinking.
I try to be. Sometimes my brain and mouth don't cooperate, but yeah.
Yeah. Adaptable, impulsive. I don't think so.
I know, definitely not now. Maybe when I was younger, but never to a life-ruining degree. Actually, I'm not very impulsive at all. I'm very of my routine, which I guess is like an anti-Gemini trait, which is why I don't feel very Geminian.
That's really good at sizing up people.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm not, I don't think I'm never wrong, but I tend to have a good feel of like the vibe of someone. Yeah. I do try to, I don't finally judge somebody until I see one way or the other, but to trusted people, I can share a vibe and be like, hey, this person strikes me as XYZ or whatever.
Right.
But I'm not about to like condemn them. It's just a vibe, their actions or inactions will determine what they show themselves to be later,
What do you think about the compatibility there?
Literally never with any of those. Like, I can't even think. There's nobody in my family. My aunt is a Libra, and her and I clash like crazy. My cousin's an Aries, and she's like a weird narcissistic person who posts fake things on Facebook. So, like, those are the only ones I know. I don't know any Aquariuses, and I don't know any other Libras or Aries, and I've never been involved with any of those signs or been like super close friends with any of them. So, although my brother is a Pisces and we get along fine.
This is interesting. Most compatible with Edward signs. My sister is a Pisces and we are like soulmates.
Yeah.
But look at this. I saw some say that Cancers and Geminis can have a dynamic and complementary relationship.
Yeah.
Cancers may be drawn to Gemini's outgoing and social nature, while Geminis may be drawn to Cancer's nurturing and homely nature. Look at us.
Well, I do admire how you are emotionally attuned.
Thanks.
in a way that I feel like I have a weakness in that.
Aw, that's
Yeah,
nice.
it's true. You
Very
know,
nice.
I appreciate your like knowledge in that area that I may lack in. Because
Hmm.
so often my default is like, I want to just punch him in the face.
Well, I can be like that. I can be a little fiery, but
A little fiery. A little more likely to be like, F them. F them all.
yeah.
Yeah, but you have a lot of emotional intelligence.
Thanks. I try
Yeah,
to. I've
you
worked
do.
hard at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I have, I also worked hard on it too.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
hard. Like it's hard to develop that.
Hmm.
Because and you know the other thing too is that when you grow up a girl, everybody assumes you're going to be an expert at that shit.
Oh, yeah,
And
for
so
sure.
yeah, like you just you
Lily.
get
What would we do without our
Easy. No, Lily. I still
Lily?
I do okay, so I do come across as like just kind of tough girl, I guess sometimes, but I'm really very squishy on the inside, y'all.
Yeah, me too.
I'm
I can
just
be.
like, yeah, but like I just bullshit pisses me off, you
Yeah,
know?
that's reasonable.
Yeah. Share the brain cell.
Are y'all sure that emotional intelligence isn't caused by estrogen? That's what all the Tims say, so it must be true. Right?
Yeah. I mean,
Idiots.
I they do have the euphoria boners, so
Ew.
yeah, that's emotional intelligence, right?
Right? Gross.
I know.
Ugh. Oh, that sort of reminded me. I recently discovered, so I've been going to swimming every day after work
Ooh.
at my local YMCA. And so I learned it was so annoying to me that there's the women's change room, the men's change room, and the all genders change room, which is fine, except for if you want the women's or the men's change room, you have to buy the plus membership, not just the membership. So, like the regular membership gets you into the all genders change room, but the segregated ones, you have to pay for the bonus plus membership. And I was like, that's so fucking dumb. But anyway, so I learned recently, actually, yes, thank you, Lily. I've been going not 7 days a week, but like 4 to 5, which I think is pretty good considering prior to this it was 0.
Yeah, I'm glad you're sticking to it
Yeah.
because I know
Anyway,
you've had a shitty week.
ugh,
Yeah.
yes. Yesterday I did go and I was grumpy about it the whole time, but I did go.
But afterwards, I bet you were glad you went.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, damn it.
But anyway, so I learned actually, oops, my alarm's going off.
Oh.
And now I need to cough. God, I'm a mess.
I know. I have a drawer full of cough drops within my arm's reach because
Just
I
a second.
still have that damn tickle. Oh,
Yeah, I
it's
just had to
so
cough it
bad.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I learned recently though, I was just a fucking dumbass, and the way that the hallway is laid out, it's like women's plus, men's plus, all gender, and I'm just too fucking stupid that I didn't think to just continue walking down the hallway, and oh, lo and behold, there is separate men and women's
Oh
change
no.
rooms that are just
Wait,
normal.
wait a
So
minute.
yeah, you
What
don't
is
have to
what
pay
is the
extra.
what is the okay, that's good because I was about to get pissed off, but like what does the plus women's room have? Like an on-call lady that stands there with hot towels? Like what?
I don't know. I'll look at the website and see.
Like
But yeah, I
what
just maybe
what
if I kept walking down the hall, I would have learned this a lot sooner, a month ago.
Our plus ladies room has a warm bidet with scents that you can choose from,
Right? Or like,
a
let's see.
massaging shower, and a personal bathroom attendant.
I mean, it.
Tampons. They actually have tampons in the plus one. In the regular one, you just got to shove some toilet paper up there and pray.
God. Okay, so where is the? Let me just look here. So the Plus membership for $98 a month.
Ooh,
That's Canadian though, so what's it in American money?
still though.
I know it's still going to be a lot. 69 American dollars.
Yeah, still. Ugh.
This includes all the general membership benefits as well as access to the 18 plus women's only change room. Oh boy.
That sounds kind of dirty.
It does. Includes a steam room, towel service,
Oh,
day lockers, and TV lounge area.
oh my God, you're missing out.
I
The
am.
first class women's room.
Literally, it is.
You got your own personal Jeeves who's like, towel?
Your own personal chiefs.
All for $69 American.
Yes. Oh, that's so funny. But TV and lounge area? What do you need that for at the gym?
People
Like,
spend like, what are you
finish your
spending?
workout and then cozy up on the couch? Like, what?
Yeah, like okay, so like Ice Goddess commented, fuck that, I'm going home to shower. And normally that's me too, unless I have to go somewhere right after the gym, like at work or to a
Yeah.
function. I'm just gonna go home. Like, what do you need all these things for? Are you gonna spend
Yeah.
an hour watching a movie at the gym?
Right? Right? Towel service, steam room.
Oh,
Whoa.
yeah, Rosie. Actually, you know what? That probably is the purpose.
That's probably yeah. This is a gym.
For real.
So
That reminds okay, so I was a member of Planet Fitness for years on and off. And you
mhm.
know, Planet Fitness is kind of looked down on by serious gym goers because they're very normie coded. Like it's for like it's like chunky office people who want to take off like the weight in January or whatever. And
Yeah.
they would serve like pizza and bagels. And I'm like,
Um,
yeah, like right in the lobby. And I was like, this kind of defeats the purpose of us coming to the gym. Bunch of chunky monkeys. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get, oh yeah, give me that pizza. Pepperoni. Yeah.
that is so funny. Why is there a lounge though? Maybe I need to
What?
buy 1 month membership and then cancel it just so I can see.
Okay, you've got to infiltrate the first class lounge and report at.
At the fucking YMCA. Like,
Right.
although our YMCA facility is very nice. It's pretty new. It's only like 5 years old. So it's got like the gym, like a multi-story gym and the track and the climbing
Oh,
wall and the
oh,
pool and water slides and like the courts. Like it's
water
pretty damn
slide.
nice. Yeah, water slides, wave pool, like a regular lap pool, the surfing simulator things, it's got one of
Oh
those.
man, that
Got a
sounds
lazy river.
so much cooler than any of even the bougie gyms around here don't have all that shit.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Wow.
Um all like there's basketball courts, tennis courts, like all of the courts you want. Um they've got like the indoor like children's playgrounds that are like indoors.
Yeah.
They got one of those. They got a climbing wall. They got everything. It's really nice. um Actually, yesterday I wondered because on the way to the doors, you walk past the indoor children's playing place, and I was walking by, and it was lots of little kids and only adult men. So I wondered, like, is this just a coincidence that it's only dads in there, or is it like a
Huh.
dads and kids night or whatever? I don't know. It was really interesting, though. It was only dads.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was like
Yeah,
a thing, or maybe the dads just bring them when they work out. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Like, I mean, I would hope that they're like giving their the mom some time and being like,
Right.
oh, I gotta go work out, but I'll bring the little guy to the gym. For the fancy gym, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't go today though, so I have to go tomorrow. But
Yeah, but you're being pretty consistent, which is good.
yeah,
I
well,
know. I have a hard time being consistent with working
yeah.
out personally, so I
Not
admire.
I'm not at all like focused on like weight loss or like whatever. Like
Oh, you don't have
um
to be.
I just want to feel better and
Right.
you know
Yeah.
be a little more active because I was not at all. So
Right.
I really don't care. I have not weighed myself in probably 7 or 8 months. So like,
Yeah.
I have no idea
Well,
if anything has changed, but I just want to, yeah, feel better. So,
well, most people who know about like exercise will tell you that you lose weight in the kitchen and you get fit in the gym.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So a lot of people try to be like, well, I go to the gym 3 times a week, but they're eating out like every single day, and they're,
Yeah, just like
then they
canceling.
want. Yeah, so it's like if you really want to, drop that spare tire, Bob, or whatever, you got to cut out the beer and pizza. I mean,
Mhm.
you can still go to the gym. You'll feel better. The endorphins are real, and the aerobic health and the muscle building, that's all good, but you're not gonna it's not gonna make a dent you know, if you're eating donuts and
Yeah,
bagels.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, Lily.
Yeah,
So,
Lily's gym girl.
yeah,
Gym girly.
she's the resident physical education scientist.
Lily,
Physiological adaptations.
are you still teaching fitness classes, Lily? Because I know you were, but then you got your new job. So are you still doing that?
Hey, life sucks. You know what though? Like that's so many It's just like
Oh
American
yeah,
culture. I don't know if you're from America. You could be from Canada or somewhere else, but like it's so ubiquitous here. It's almost
yeah.
weird if you don't eat the standard American junky
Hmm.
diet, Yep.
And it's so easy to just eat a standard junky diet.
Yeah,
Like,
are you kidding? Like, it's easier to just get a frozen pizza from the frozen aisle or like stop off at a fast food place or, you
yeah.
know,
I don't know. What's it like? Like, what's grocery prices like there? Is it like fucking
hmm.
crazy?
I don't find that it's too crazy. I
Okay,
think,
well, it is nuts in Canada.
yeah,
It
I've
like
heard.
it
And I've
is
heard that it's that way in some parts of the US too.
it is insane. Um,
Yeah.
like a thing of I was gonna buy like a little like like Christmas oranges.
Mm. Oh, you
I
mean
was,
the little mandarins?
yes,
Little
mandarins.
clementines or
Yeah,
whatever
I
they're
was gonna
called?
buy a little bag of those, and a bag of them was $11
Yeah.
yesterday. Like the grocery prices here are insane. A package of like 3 chicken breasts. I know like you have to go by weight. I don't remember, but like three like
Mm.
regular sized chicken breasts, anywhere from $13 to $17.
Okay, so that's really much more expensive than what I'm
Yeah,
seeing here in Massachusetts.
it's like one of the biggest like we don't have any elections coming up right now, but it is like a talking point as we think about elections in the future and stuff. Like everyone is talking about the insane cost of living in Canada. It is so expensive.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't think we're far behind you guys at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Claire. Welcome. Food
Oh,
prices are
hey.
insane in Canada. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, actually, my mom and I were talking yesterday. Like, she was saying, like, I'm so sad that my kids aren't at home anymore. But if I had children at home, I have no idea how, like, families are feeding their children in Canada because
I mean, do you guys have an equivalent of like WIC or programs to help kids and stuff like that?
I have never heard of that. So,
Oh, yeah, it's like but it's really only for babies and toddlers here. It's like a supplementary
oh, yeah.
um, uh, budget for food, like, it's
Right.
called WIC, which stands for Women, Infants, and Children. It's like
I
a
see.
program. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's bad.
I made chili tonight in my Instant Pot, right? And I
Mm,
bought ingredients, and a can of kidney beans was like $1.60 per
mm,
can. But
yeah.
like usually cans of beans are like 99 cents.
Yeah.
So it's not like an astronomically higher price, but it's like every little thing is a little bit more expensive. I think that's probably the best way to put it where I'm at in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's
I'd say
nuts.
like,
Like a
yeah.
can of like chicken soup is like $3, $4.
So that's the same here. So if I want to get like a chunky Campbell's soup, it's
Yeah.
like $3 to $4 for each. I think a lot of the packaged stuff has gotten more expensive, and I don't really buy a lot of that stuff much, just once in a while. But I have noticed that like chips, cereal, canned
Mm,
goods, frozen dinners and pizza and stuff,
yeah.
frozen meats, those are more expensive. I would say like the last time I looked at the chicken breast though, the price is usually maybe like $8 or $9 here for the 3 pack of breasts. So a little less than yours, but still not as cheap as it used to be back in the day.
Yeah, for
And by,
sure.
by back in the day, I mean like a few years ago.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, eggs are, yes, very expensive. Cheese is extremely expensive in Canada,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
crazy because we're like, we have a lot of dairy farms, but
That's so weird. Like, why you'd think it would be cheaper for you guys, but
yeah.
I actually splurge on the fancy bougie eggs, the free
Ooh,
range that are like $9 for a pack of 18.
18.
Yeah.
I don't ever
Eight,
think I've seen 18 eggs.
it's like a dozen and a half.
What the heck? Oh, yeah, I guess I have. I just looked at what a carton looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's expensive, but I eat a lot of eggs and I want to make sure I get good eggs. So I kind of splurge on
Yeah,
it.
of course.
But
Yeah, there's things that I splurge on too. Like I'll only buy this or not that.
yeah. I mean, if I'm really tight for cash, I need some eggs. I'll just get the regular cheapo eggs because some eggs are better than no eggs. But
Yep.
oh man, Claire, that's crazy. $5 per can. I remember a
Yeah.
few years ago you could get two Chunky's cans for $5. They were
Oof.
$2.50 each. And I thought that
Where,
that was expensive.
yeah. What province are you in, Claire? Just wondering. Yeah, it's freaking expensive.
Yep. Which is part of the
Oh,
reason I made my video today about Luigi because we're all
yes.
tired of being under the boot of billionaires who are forcing all of our prices up so they can squeeze the last little freaking pence out of all of us.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck the plebeians.
Yeah, that's basically their attitude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, West Coast. Yeah. Expensive.
Mm.
My sister lives in Victoria and woof. Extremely woof.
It's so weird that the West is, it's the expensive place here too, like California. You always hear like
Yeah.
their prices are insane. And I live in New England and there it's also a high cost of living area, but like compared to Silicon Valley in California, it has nothing on that place.
Yeah.
Like you have to be rich to live there.
That's how it's getting on Canada's West Coast. Like Vancouver, for sure. Victoria is much the same, but it is also starting to creep east here too. Like I'm only next door in Alberta, and it's getting bad here too.
I just want to ask, like, who are all these people, these rich people populating all these cities?
Right?
Like, I remember having a conversation with a family member like some time back about housing, right? I'm like, I was kind of being salty at the time because we were talking about housing prices. And I'm like, I want to know what kind of jobs and what kind of people are these that can drop money on a like a $600,000 house. I want to know what they do for work, like how they can swing that. Like, how do you
Uh-huh.
do that? How with like your average salary here? I just don't know. Like, does everybody except me make like 200,000 a year?
Right?
Like,
And
what?
me too, except for
Who
me
are
too.
right? Like, who are these people?
I don't know. I don't know how anyone can get like approved for a mortgage when houses cost, yeah, $700,000.
Well, the other thing is I'm seeing a lot on social media that a lot of people aren't getting approved, even
Well,
with
yeah,
like 850 credit scores. Like it's crazy. I've seen videos where somebody will come on and they'll be like, yeah, I make $150,000 a year. My wife also makes $150,000 a year. We have 800 credit scores and we got declined. Like, what?
Yikes.
What? How?
That's crazy.
I've heard that too, Claire, about how they buy property and it sits empty. And I still have to wonder, abandoned buildings deteriorate at a rapid rate, right? So, like, what's
Yeah.
the incentive to leaving them empty? I just have to wonder, like, what's their end game?
Don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, kind of ominous because I can't think of a reason why. Yeah, because buildings go to shit if nobody lives in it. It just, yeah, like, it's amazing how much an abandoned house will just like fall apart without somebody in it.
Yeah. It is.
So, what are your plans for the evening?
Clean my kitchen.
Of course, as is custom.
Yes, my post-stream ritual is I clean my kitchen. And then stay up too late because I'm scrolling, probably.
Do you find that when your days are a little shitty, you want to stay up late at night because it's like the only time you have to just chill?
Yep. Yeah, that is me. That's been me the last 2 nights, being like,
yes.
Oh, I really need to get to bed at a decent time. But then I look at the clock and I'm like, oh, it is 11:15 and I have to get up at 5:30. Whoops.
Yeah, and you actually have to go to work. I have the advantage of working from home. This morning I overslept. I didn't tell you. I slept through my alarm and I ended up oversleeping.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah.
I preemptively, I know I'm going to stay up too and I'll just make peace with it and be tired. But that actually bit me in the ass this morning because I did that the past few nights. I stayed up too late and I ended up waking up right before I had to clock in for my shift.
Ooh.
I know. I clock in at 8:30 and I woke up and my clock was, I know I'm spoiled like that, but like my clock said 8:19. I had to get up, feed my cat, go to the bathroom, clock in, log onto the VPN. And I was like, oh my God, I still had to get coffee. I'm like, oh, I'm screwed.
Crazy.
I made it.
Yeah. That's okay, good. Though. At least you made it.
I did, but I could have so easily overslept and then have to message my boss like, I'm sorry.
That's funny. This morning, actually, it was like 8:45 and my boss is on holidays, but the person like her second in command phoned me and he was like, hey, I just wanted to check and see if like you got to work okay because you're showing as offline on Teams. And I was like, oh, no, I'm here. But yeah, my Teams was just showing me offline. Even if I tried to switch my status to available, it was like, it just had an X offline. I was like, what the hell?
That happened to me a few times recently. I think it's a Teams thing because if I restart my system, it fixes itself.
Okay, well.
Yep, you got to restart your computer, turn it off, and then turn it back on again.
It's funny. It's like, no, I'm here. I answered the phone.
Yeah, I actually asked my Teams chat, like, hey, do you see me, everybody? And they're like, you're showing offline. I'm like, damn it.
I am here.
Yes.
It's funny. What are you going to do? It's like 10:20 there.
So I'll probably just putz around for a bit.
Yeah.
I think it's too late to start my game of Baldur's Gate 3, which I've been really into.
Right.
Highly recommend that game for any gamers in chat.
What are you doing the rest of your week?
Well, oh, hang on. I got a cough.
Yeah, that was just me a minute ago, muting to cough.
God, this damn pickle. It sucks. But I don't know. I mean, just, what I always do. My life is very boring. I've said this before. I just work. I log off. Maybe I run some errands. I enjoy running errands. I'm like, yeah, I get to run errands today. Ooh.
That's
I
good.
actually, I volunteer, like I volunteer, and I'm like, nope, I'll take care of it. It's time. Like I get to listen to music in the
Yeah.
car as loud as I want to, and just putz around town, and
Yep.
it's great, and get accomplished, by accomplishing tasks and stuff. And then I'm
Yep.
like, oh, I'm glad I took care of that. Yep, yep.
Totally.
So yeah, I don't have any actual plans. Probably some Christmas shopping, if we're
Yeah.
being real. I got to go online, and for the white elephant or Yankee swap, I want to go to the liquor store and get like a nice bottle of booze for one of the gifts, and then for the other gift, I don't know, something.
Nice.
Hmm.
I am house sitting for a new client starting on Thursday for
Oh,
8 days.
what kind of pet?
Two dogs. They're both like mutts. One, well, no, one is a schnauzer type dog, and the other
Oh,
one is like a, I don't know what it is. It's like a, I don't know, a Rottweiler bully breed mix of some kind.
oh,
Really
yeah.
cute, really sweet. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna start that on Thursday for 8 nights. But then,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, that's a long gig.
Oh, that's not even close to the longest I have typically done. My
For the
longest was
first time?
37 nights.
Damn, but like for a first timer, it's
Oh yeah.
a show of trust, 8 nights.
Yeah. They're going to Mexico.
Nice.
Hmm. So yeah. And the client is like super nice. It's kind of like hilarious because she asked me what the total would be for the two dogs for the 8 nights, and I told her. And in the neighborhood that she lives in, it's in my neighborhood, and I offer a
Oh,
discount in this neighborhood because I want like a
right.
clientele in this neighborhood. So I told
You
her
told me. She was
yeah,
so sweet.
what the price would be, and she was like, "Oh, that seems awfully low," and I was like, "Oh,
And then you
okay,
said that you're giving her the neighborhood discount, and didn't
yeah."
she offer you to pay you the normal rate?
Yes, I told her what it would be without the discount, and she was like, "Oh, I'd feel much better about paying you that." And I was like, "Okay, queen."
Free money. Yes, please.
Right. And then, yeah, so that was nice. But yeah, so that'll be good. And they live across the street from a park with a lake in it, so that'll be nice.
I do
Nice views.
appreciate, yeah, I appreciate people who know that the general rule is you get what you pay for. Now, this
Yeah.
is not to besmirch your, because you're a very trustworthy person, right? You're very,
Yeah.
very stand up, but they don't really know that
Oh,
though,
for sure. They don't know me
right?
from Adam.
Right. So like when people they don't want to just get the cheapest,
Yeah.
easiest thing, right? Because they know that most of the time you really do get what you pay for. You pay pennies and you get penny service,
Yep.
especially for people who own their own business. I don't know.
I agree.
So it's nice to have somebody want to be like scrupulous with you. I
Mm.
guess that's the right word. Pay like
Yeah.
compensate you adequately and not just try to like nickel and dime you and be like, can I get
Yeah,
more of a
exactly.
discount?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the way I kind of see it is like in-home pet sitting is kind of like a luxury service. So like
Yeah, that is true.
you kind of expect to pay for it.
Yeah, most pet sitters will just stop by and feed and walk and then leave.
Yeah.
But you live
So
there.
yeah, I stay there. I
Yep.
mean, I go out and do errands and stuff, but like, yeah,
Yeah, and you go to work and stuff like that, but
yeah,
yeah, but you stay overnight. Like that's a big thing.
do. So yeah, good times. Anyway,
Mhm.
alrighty. So let's see. Any housekeeping? Not really. I don't know if I'm gonna. Well, maybe stream on Friday or Saturday again. We'll see.
Nice.
Um,
The Imla movie.
well, yeah. In theory, but Nena is going to Australia with her partner, her wife.
Mm.
And then Rusty and her wife are navigating a move as well. So
Oh, that's right. They
maybe
are.
we won't stream together again until the new year.
Oh, that's right. You did say Imola will reconvene in the new year.
So
That's
we'll see.
exciting.
But that doesn't mean that I or we can't stream later in the week.
Absolutely.
So we'll see what that brings. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you for joining me, Existential Gamer. And thanks, chat, for being awesome as always. One thing I will say is if you come across like a topic that you think would be interesting for people, like for us to stream about, I'm happy to consider it. So you can always leave me a comment or email me radicalramblings1@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll see what the week brings us. So yeah, have a great night. I'm gonna try to clean my kitchen and go to bed at a decent hour.
Yes, I hope you
And
get some sleep.
thanks. Have a good one, y'all. And we'll see you either later or next week.
Yes. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.